So we have seen a couple of triggers yesterday. Let's create some more today. So what is my requirement is whenever I'm creating a new account record, if any contacts are existed with the same name, I want to delete those contacts. So I'm repeating once again. So whenever I'm creating a new account, if any contacts are existing, with the same name, with the same account name, I want to delete those contacts. Suppose I'm inserting a new account with name called ABC, and if any contact is existed with the same name, I want to delete those contacts automatically. Okay, that means let's go to contacts, create a new contact with the Wells Fargo. So I have a contact existed with the Wells Fargo. So if I'm going to create a new account with the Wells Fargo name, this contact should get automatically deleted. So whenever I'm inserting a new account, if any contact found with the same name, I want to delete that contact or contacts automatically. So we have to write a trigger on which object now? So I have to write a trigger on account object. So that should be before update only, or before insert only. First, let me take all those account names in a set. Set of string account names set equals to new set of string for each account in trigger.new acc names set.add a.name. Now let me query the contacts. If any contacts are existing with that name, so list of contact list equals to select id comma name from contact where name in colon acc names set. If contact list dot size greater than 0 and contact list not equals to null, then I want to delete contact list. Okay, is it clear? Just I'm taking all the account names into a set and I'm comparing with those account names, and I'm finding out if any contacts are existing with that account name. If exists, then the list size definitely will greater than 0. If list size equal to 0, that means no records. If list size greater than 0, that means there are some records existed. So if some records are existed in this list, and if that list is not equal to null, just I'm giving one extra condition here. If the list is empty and there are no contacts found, we don't need to delete those contacts, right? How we can perform the delete operation on empty list? So if there is any records in that list, then I'm deleting those contacts here. Okay. So now let me insert an account with the same name. So I inserted an account here, Wells Fargo, with the same name of the contact. So that contact should get deleted, right? So I could not find any Wells Fargo here, so that got deleted now. So you can go to recycle bin, deletion date. Here you can see, so contact record got deleted, right? Okay. Now we can go to any object here. Let's go to this account object. Go to setup. Go to customize, and then accounts, fields. If you go to account fields, you can see one button called set history tracking. This option is available for every object. So if you want to track any fields history, then you can set up this history tracking for particular fields. So click on set history tracking, enable history tracking here, and then I want to enable account name, revenue, company, rating, something like this. I can select up to 10 fields. I can select up to 10 fields history tracking here, and then click on save. So if I go to the account here, and then history tracking related list is here or not. Okay, go to the layout, related list. So account history, you can see there is a related list. Drag and drop here, and then save. Okay, so now you can see account history related list. But now I want to change the name from Wells Fargo to Wells Fargo 1, and then click on save. Now we can see in the account history. So on this date, at this time, this is a user who has changed the account name from Wells Fargo to Wells Fargo 1. Right? So you can enable the history tracking, field history tracking, and you can see who has changed the value, the previous value to which field value, I mean to which value you can track easily. But this option is available for only particular fields, not for all the fields, and I think you can select up to only 10 fields history tracking. but I want to get a whole object backup. I want to store all object previous values as a backup. So how do I do? Suppose if I go to my application here, I have a faculty object. I want to store the previous values of this faculty object records into another object. That means whenever you are doing some modifications, whenever you are doing some modifications, I want to store the old data. I want to take a backup of old data. I want to take a backup of the old data. How can I do that? Suppose if I go to faculty, I'm going to faculty 3 and then experience 10 years. So email ID, something like this, phone number, something like this, and then click on save. So I want to store the previous data, previous experience 9 years, right? And then there might be previous email address, previous phone number. So I want to store all these previous details. So whenever you are modifying the faculty data, so I want to store the previous details into another. I mean, I want to store previous details as backup. Okay. So for this, let me create one object quickly. Experience email ID, phone number, right? I'm creating a new object, FAC backup object. And then create those fields quickly. Okay, I have created these fields on faculty backup object. So what is my requirement? Whenever you are doing some changes in faculty record, that I want to store the previous values, because if you go to history of that object, field history, you can only see the backup values. I mean, see the old values of only few fields. You can't do for all the fields. There is a limitation. But here, I want to store whole data as backup into other object. Okay, so now let me create a trigger on faculty object. Go to file, new, apex trigger, trigger number 7 on faculty, click on submit before update. So for each faculty in trigger dot old, I want to get new data or old data. So previous values I want to store in other object, right, as backup. So I need to take here trigger dot old only. Now fac underscore backup equals to new fac underscore backup underscore c fb dot name equals to f dot name fb dot experience underscore c equals to f dot experience underscore c fb dot ph underscore number underscore c equals to f dot phone number underscore c fb dot email underscore id underscore c equals to f dot email underscore id underscore c, and then I want to insert fb. And we don't keep any dml or SQL statements inside the for loop. For this, let me take one extra list, fac underscore backup underscore c equals to new list of fac underscore backup underscore c, and then add all the inserting records into that list, and then perform the update operation, sorry, the insert operation on the list here. Okay, and file and save. Okay, it got saved. So whenever you are updating the faculty records, the old data will be stored in faculty backup object. Let's go and try. So I'm going to faculty 3, edit this record, 11 years experience, email address has been changed, phone number also got changed here, and then save. Okay, now you can open faculty backup. and then let's go to recently created. So I got FAC3 with the old value experience 10, old email address is this, and old phone number is this. So what exactly storing in trigger.world? Trigger.world will contain the data before you are performing DML operation. Trigger.new contains the data after you perform DML operation, or while you are doing any operation, the currently working record data will be taken into the trigger.new. The current data will be taken into trigger.new. Suppose what will happen here if I put trigger.new instead of, because while I'm doing update operation, I can work with either trigger.world or trigger.new, right? So here, if I put here trigger.new, what will happen? Okay, let's change it to trigger.new, and then I'm going to update another record here, FAC2, and then experience. Okay, so click on save, and then go to faculty backup, and then see FAC2 is here, and then now I'm getting the recent one, not the old ones. Old data for all these fields are empty. I should see here empty fields. But I'm getting the recent data which I have updated, so I can see that data here. So now trigger.new will contains the currently working record data or the updated data we will get in trigger.new. In trigger.world we will get the previous one. That means the old data which is already stored in the object, we will get that data here in the trigger.world. So let's see the difference. So let me print here system.debug trigger.world plus trigger.world system.debug trigger.new trigger.new. Okay, and then we'll go to setup, go to debug logs. That means we have to go to monitor. Under monitor we have debug logs. Under debug logs, under monitor we have logs. Under logs we have debug logs. Go to debug logs, and then you have to set your user. You have to add your user to debug log. Already I have added yesterday, right? So we can have logs for 24 hours. Now we have to change this date, right? So click on edit. Okay, so 24 hours time. Click on save. I deleted all the logs, previous logs. So now let me execute this, because here at line number 3 and 4 I keep some debug statements, and then we'll see what would be the output. Let's go to another faculty record. So now let's go to again faculty 3, experience from 11 to 12, faculty 3 to faculty 33, phone number something like this, and then save. Okay, if I go to faculty backup, you can see there would be another record will be saved with faculty 3, and then you can see here the old values. Here it is only FAC 3, it's not FAC 33, it's experience 11. I have given here 12. Okay, so the phone number is the old one and this is the new one, right? So now let's open the debug logs, reload the page. Even if you want to look at the debug log, so you can open this log even. So you can open this log and then see debug statements, or you can go to our user interface debug logs, and then the log got generated. I just reloaded the page and we can see the log, and then open this log, just view this log, and then where are the debug statements here? Trigger.new and trigger.old, right? Trigger.old. Could not find any. Okay, so let's go to debug logs here. I want to delete all these users again. I want to set up again my user here. There might be some problem with the log level. So click on new button and then select my user. So click on new debug level, or yeah, click on new debug level, and let me give this one as a test one. Okay, this is fine, and then save it, and then save. Okay, now let me run again this. So go to faculty 3, now experience 12 to 13, from 33 to 333. So from phone number this to another phone number, and then save it. So now go to debug logs and then reload the page. So got the log, open this log. Where is my trigger.world? At line number 3, right? Yeah. So here I can see triggers executing. I could not see any debug statements here, right? Bottom of this, I should see some debug statements here. Maybe there is a problem with setting up the log level. We have to select the log level, everything might be debug, then you can see some debug statements here. Or else you can go to our developer console, open the log, and then go to debug only. Also we are not getting any debug logs here. Why? Because I think I did not save this. I can still see here this trigger is not saved. Okay, so now let's go to again our faculty object, delete the logs, and then go to our faculty object and then change the experience and then email address and then phone number and then click on save. Go to the log, reload the page, just click on view. Now you can see trigger.old. I think before we were not saved that trigger, that's why we are not getting any trigger.old and trigger.new as the debug. Now we can see trigger.old here, trigger.new, right? So IDs are same because record ID will not be changed. IDs are same, but now if you look at, I did not change the name, right? Yeah, the top one is trigger.old and then this is trigger.new. You can look at here experience, email ID, phone number. So trigger.old contains the previous values and then trigger.new contains the updated values. Right, so you have to decide whether you want to work with the old values or new values. Accordingly, you have to give here while updating here trigger.new or trigger.old. Here I want to get the old data, that's why I have given here trigger.old. So now what will contains trigger.old map and new map? Trigger.old map and a new map. Okay, so go to file and then save it. Now let me change the data. Go to your logs and then reload this page. So one more log created. Just open this log. Now you can see trigger.old map and a trigger.new map. You can see here ID of the record. So how the map will contains? So ID and the record, right? So this is ID of the record and then this is a complete record. So you can see equals to ID equals to, so ID would be the same, right? So ID is record ID. So that won't be changed. So record ID will be the same. So what is the difference between trigger.old and old map? So old map contains the records in key value pair. New map also will contains the data in key value pair, and here you can see the updated data in the new map. In the old map you can see the old data before performing the DML operation. Okay. So now let's go to the next example. Let's go to sales application. So I have a case object. I have case object. So if anyone changes the case status to working, suppose I'm going to this case. If I go here and initially the case will be the new status, will be in the new status whenever we create a new case. And then if I go here and if I change the status to working, so automatically this record should be assigned to me. That means the owner should change it to me automatically. Suppose let me change this owner to the second user. Suppose if I come to this record and if I change the status to working, then automatically this record should assign to me. So here my name should appear. So this record owner should be changed to me because I am working on this case, right? So who is working on this case? So I am working on this case. I have changed the status from new to working. So this should be assigned to me. If Bhagavan changed the status from new to working, so this record should automatically assign to Bhagavan. So here I should see case owner as Bhagavan. Okay, who are working on this case should assign to that user. That means we have to change the owner to that user who are modified this case. Who are modifying this case with the status equal to working. So this case should assign to that user. Can we do this? Go to file, new, apex trigger, trigger number 8, and which object? Case object, and then click on submit. So before insert or before update? Let's go with before update. Okay. So now for each case in trigger.new, for each case in trigger.new, if c dot status equals to working, then and put c dot owner id. So owner is a lookup field, right? Owner is the lookup field to user. So c dot owner id equals to c dot last modified by id. Last modified by id. Whoever last modified that id, that user id will be coming as the owner id. That's it. So case status equal to working. So case owner will be the last modified user. Okay, go to file and then save it. Now let's go to the same case record, or you can go to other record. So it is currently with the second user, right? So this case currently with second user. Now if I go and change the status to working and then click on save, so this owner should become as me, right? Click on save. Now the owner has been changed. Okay, so we'll write one more trigger. Suppose you have created a Amazon account with your email address. You have created one Amazon account with your email address. Can you create the second one with the same email address? Is it possible? Maybe you have created Facebook account with your email address. Can you create the second one with the same email address?
No.
No, right? So it is not possible. They are identifying you and restricting you to create, a second Amazon account or Facebook account. So here also I want to implement the same. I have leads. Okay, through lead, account, contact, and opportunities will be generated. If you click on new button, we can see lead email, right? So I want to find out if any leads are existed with the same email address. If any lead is existed with the same email address, we don't need to create again the second lead, right? We can use existing lead record. Maybe if we create account contact for that lead, maybe we can use the same account or contact. But why you are creating duplicate leads? It's not necessary, right? It's not needed actually. So what is my requirement here? Whenever you are creating a new lead record, we have to check that email address is already existed with any other lead records or not. If it is existed, then we have to throw an error saying that this lead is already existed. Maybe this user record is already existed. Okay, can we write the trigger? It's very easy. So we have to write a trigger on lead, then go to file, new, apex trigger, trigger number 9 on lead object. So before insert, comma, before update. So you can prevent to create a record before insert or before update only, right? Now for each lead in trigger.new, if l dot email not equals to null, because lead email is not a mandatory field, so we can create a lead without giving email address also. That's why I'm giving a check here. So if lead email not equals to null, then I want to find out if any contacts are existed with the same email address. I want to find if any contacts are existed with the same email address. If any contacts are existed with the same email address, you don't need to create again a lead, right? We can use the existing contact and account, because that user is already existing user in our organization. So now let's go to list of contact list equals to select id comma name comma email from contact, where email equals to colon L dot email. Okay. If contact list dot size, if contact list dot size greater than 0 and contact list not equals to null, then I want to add an error message L dot add error. So contact is already existed. Contact is already existed with the same email address. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I'm checking with the lead email address if any contacts are existed from the contact object. If any contacts are existed, of course the list size will become more than 0. Then if list size is greater than 0, then I'm printing this error message. Let's try with this. So let's go to any contact. Here in contact, there are no contacts here, I think. Okay, let me create one contact. Yeah, I have a Dell contact here. Just go to one of the contact and then give the contact email address. Okay, I have given the email address of contact something like this, and then create a new lead with the same email address. Okay, so if I click on save, it should throw an error because already one contact is existed with the same email address, right? So click on save button. Now I got the same error message what I have given in the trigger. Contact is already existed with the same email address. So it is already the existing user in the organization. So he could not create another lead until he has changed the email address. Until he changed the email address, right? So he could not create any other lead. Like if I change the del to del1 at the rate gmail.com, so this email address was not available, is not existed in any other contacts. Might be. Just click on save. Now the record got saved. I think this email address was not given to any other contacts. But here, if you look at the trigger, is this the correct approach? You know why it is not the correct approach. Suppose here I am inserting 150 lead records by using data loader. How many times this query will fire? How many times this query will fire? 150 times this query will execute. So can I write 150 SQL queries in a single execution? Of course not. So in that case, this trigger will fail, and then we will get the exception, the limit exception we will get. You know how to eliminate the SQL query from inside the for loop, right? So we have done the same here. Yeah, in this example, in yesterday's class, so you have to take all the email addresses. You have to take all the email addresses in a separate set, and then based on the set email addresses, you can query the contacts. and then you can take a map with the string and contacts, and then you can put the email address along with the contact record in a map, and then get that a record by using the email address, and then if that map value is not equal to null, then you can throw error message, same like how we done here in our yesterday's example. The same way you can eliminate the SQL query from inside the for loop. So instead of name here you can take email address, that's it, and instead of name here you have to put email, right? So if you replace the name with the email, that's it, you can eliminate the SQL query from here also. So try eliminating the SQL query from inside this for loop. Okay, let's go to other example. So I'm going to the account. So whenever I'm updating any account record, I want to update all the contacts. So whenever I want to update account records, I want to update all the contact records. That is my requirement. So here I can go with the after update or before update also. If you are going with the before update, so before the account is updating with the new values, the contact will be updated. Okay. So now, yeah. So now what I want to do here is I'll go with the before update. I will update the records because we are working with the before triggers. Let me finish before triggers only. So whenever you are updating account phone number, the contact phone number also should update to the same account phone number. Suppose if I go to this account and then if I update this phone number to something, so if this account got any contacts, that contact phone numbers also should get updated to the same phone number. Of course, this account is not having any contacts. We can create new contact. So if I change this phone number, the corresponding contacts phone numbers also should change. Okay, so let me create one contact under this account. Click on new contact button. Okay, I have created one contact under this account. Okay, so you can have one more contact. So there are two contacts under this account. There are two contacts under this account. So whenever I change this phone number to something, so this contact's phone number also should get changed to the same account phone number. Okay, so we can go with the before update. Okay, at this moment. So let's go to file, new apex trigger on account, trigger number 10, and then click on submit. So I'm writing trigger on account before insert or before update. Update would be fine. Before insert you won't get any contacts, right? Once you create an account, then only we can insert the contacts under that account. So you can go with the before update operation. Okay, so let me make use of maps here. Now I have to get all the contacts, right? How we can get the contacts? So list of contact list equals to select id comma name from contact, id comma name comma account id from contact, where account id in colon trigger dot new map dot key set, trigger dot new map dot key set. So how the map will contains the records? Key and value pair, right? So I told you key would be the account id always, and then this is the account record, because we are working with the account object. So id would be the account object record, account record id, sorry, and then value would be the account record. So next account id and next account record, like this. So this is a key, right? So if you want to get all the keys, we have one method. What is that method? Key set. Key set method will give all the keys. So in the keys we have account ids, right? So I'm comparing with the account ids and getting the contacts. I'm comparing with the account ids and getting all the contacts here. Right? And then now let me take one for loop for each contact. See in contact list, c dot phone equals to trigger dot new map. So let me do one thing. So here let me take one map here, map of id comma account my map equals to trigger dot new map. Here let me give my map dot key set, and then here let me give c dot phone equals to my map dot get off, c dot account id dot phone, and then update contact. So here I'm processing each and every contact record, and then we have to get the account phone number, right? So if you want to get the account phone number, how we can get? So here I have trigger dot new map. I have assigned that into the my map. So my map dot get up. So I'm passing this contact account ID. Anyway, Here we can see all the IDs as the key set. So we are passing that account ID. That means we are getting the complete account record. That account record dot phone. I'm getting the phone number of the account record and then updating the phone number of contact. Anyway, I could not keep the update statement inside the for loop. Let me take one contact list here, and then here let me add all the contacts to this contact list, and then perform the update operation on contact list. Okay. What happened? So list of contact list equal to new list of contact, duplicate field CON list, update CON list. Okay, it got saved. So now let's go to our account and then change the phone number and then click on save. So if I go and look at the contacts phone number also should be displayed as the same as the account phone number. I can see that here. You can see the same phone number. Suppose let me change this phone number and then save it. Now you should see the same phone number to all these contacts. Okay, so my trigger is working fine. Is it looks little complicated? Not really. Just make use of the maps also. Here I have taken map instead of the list. That's it. Nothing else. So let's go to one more trigger. So I want to populate the account description to contact description. The same way, so I want to populate to account description to contact description. So we have description fields on both account and contact records. So whatever description we have given here, the same description should be populated to the contact description. Okay, so now let me delete this code and then we'll do in the other way. So whenever you are updating, I want to populate the account description into the contact description field. We have description field on both account and contacts. So we'll go with the simple way. For each account in trigger.new, I want to get the contacts, right? List of contact list equals to select id comma name comma description from contact where account id equals to colon a dot id. So we can query the account id also. So we have all the contacts here with the same account id, and then for each contact in con, so c dot description equals to a dot description, and then update contact, right? So I can eliminate the update statements from inside the for loop. For that, let me take one more list of contact. Then take out the update statement. Contact list dot add c, and then update contact list, right? So Control S to save. So it looks very simple now. So I'm querying all the contacts with the same account ID. If any contacts are existed with the same account ID, I'm querying those contacts and updating that contact description with the account description and updating the contacts. Looks very easy, right? So go to the account and then give account description as Wells Fargo, and then if you click on save, all the contact description should be also the same, right? So let's go to the contact here, Wells Fargo contact, and then you can see description also displayed as the same account description, Wells Fargo. So whatever account description I have given here in the account, the same description you can see here in the contact also. But here, is this the correct way? Any SQL queries inside the for loop? Any SQL queries inside the for loop? Yes. So to eliminate this SQL query, I have written a map. I have used that map in the previous example. So is there any alternative to eliminate this SQL query? Can we go with the other method? Yeah, we will go with the other method. So let me delete all this code. So we can write subquery, right? So we have done with the relationship queries a week ago. So now let me write the relationship query and get all the contacts along with the account. That means we are on parent, and then we have to query all the contacts, right? All the childs. So for this we have to write a subquery. So list of account ACC equals to select ID, comma name, comma select ID, comma name, comma description, from contacts, and then from account, where ID in colon trigger dot new map dot key set. So what we will have in trigger.newMap.keyset, we'll get all the account IDs. Based on that account IDs, I'm getting both the account and the contact, right? In trigger.newMap.keyset will contains all the account IDs, and based on that account IDs, and then getting the account along with the all contact records here. You know how to write the subquery and get all the child records. Now process each and every account. For each account A in trigger.new, why trigger.new? This is ACC, right? We got all the records in ACC, and then for each contact C in A dot contacts. You know we have to use the plural labels, right? A dot contacts, and then C dot description equals to A dot description, and then update contact. You know how to eliminate the update statement here from inside the for loop. It's very easy. Just declare one more list and add all those records to a list and perform update operation after the for loop. So list of contact list equals to new list of contact list dot add C update contact list, right? So control S to save this trigger. So let me know, do we have any SQL queries inside the for loop or DML statements here? No, right? We have eliminated them from inside the for loop. Yes, there are many ways. Which way you are using doesn't matter. Our goal is to eliminate the DML or SQL statements inside the for loop. The same example we have done with three ways, but one way, just the previous one, we keep some SQL statements inside the for loop, but leave that. And before that one, we have eliminated the SQL queries by using the new map. Here also we have used new map, but here we have written the relationship query to get all the contacts and update those contacts. So now let's go to the Wells Fargo account. We are updating the description, right? Yeah, and then give description Wells Fargo relationship query as description. Click on OK. Now let's go to one of the contact. This is the Wells Fargo contact 1. So it's not updated, right? Wells Fargo. Is it after update? Before update. This is the new map.keyset only. So it should update all the contacts, right? So let me try once again. Yeah, you can see this is updated Wells Fargo relationship query.
I think we might have to use after
Yeah.
update because you changed it to 1, right?
Yeah, because it is taking the previous value. Yeah, we can make it after update to get the recent one, but now we are into before ones, right? we are working with the before events. Just let it be like this, no worries. We will see again in the after with the some other examples. Okay. So these are some examples are just before events only, but we have to start with the after events also, right? So from tomorrow onwards, we will go with the after update events, after insert, after delete, and after undelete, right? So maybe tomorrow and day after tomorrow also we have to work with the triggers only. Maybe it will take another 2 or 3 days to work with all trigger examples. This trigger is very important concept in Salesforce. We should not miss any event. So we are going to see all possible examples on triggers and visual force pages. They are very important concepts. Okay. So any doubts from today's class?
No.
Okay then. So we'll meet in tomorrow's class then. Bye.